Gotta see my little belly. Okay, so this is what I'm wearing. It's raining, and I got on suede boots. Got my little cowboy boots. But I'm a wear 'em. I guess I am. Guess I am. I'm wearing 'em. Now I'm asking the Lord to have me. Okay, there is a gentleman. Actually, he's a pastor. He came and asked me some advice because he's saying that he don't want a pastoral no more. He just want to feel it. I'm just getting a whole lot of air not coming out. The bank is empty. There you go. You hear it? Maybe because I got it wrong. Oh, there you go. Came out that time. So, you know, he's saying that he don't want a pastoral no more, right? And he wanted to ask my advice, asking me, do I think it's wrong? So I told him honestly, I said, no, I don't think it's wrong because there's certain feelings that people have that it's not my right to tell you whether you're wrong or right to feel that kind of way. But what I will tell you is that you make sure that you do what God wants. Don't too much go on your feelings so much, you know? And I told him, I said, I'm in the line with you because I'm at a place now, you know, I feel the same way. You know, I don't have the initiative, is that the right word, to do the things that I was doing before. Now, in this new age, in this new season, what was for last season, and I ain't talking about summer, spring, winter, fall type of season. I'm talking about the season with the Lord. What is for or was for those seasons before this season here, that's what I did. Even though when I look at it now, it's actually coming to me now. Even though it looked like I wasn't doing nothing, I wasn't getting nowhere, people wasn't really paying attention to me, people wasn't liking me and stuff like that. Even though it looked like that to me, in God's sight it wasn't, because it was, those seasons was for what I needed to do in my destiny, right? So even though, let me bring it a little bit closer. Even though it looked it like, right, let me kind of like bring it closer. Even though it looked it like to me that that wasn't, I'm sorry, I got a little distracted for a second. Even though it looked like at the time, oh, I'm not getting nowhere, this don't make no sense. You know, thinking how I was thinking. But in God's mind, in God's perspective, he was saying, no, this is what you got to do. Because I'm looking at it now, that if I had never did it and been shown that it was God using me, that now it would have never been seen that it was God. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I had told somebody in an email, I said, well, I'm going to try to fix this document. And if it's not good, at least I failed by trying than for me not trying and been a failure. So at least I tried to get people to come. I tried to fellowship with people. I tried to be a teacher. I tried to be, helping, leadership. I tried to help the young people. It was said in my face that maybe that's not your job. Maybe you ain't supposed to help the young people. But it was just like a passion for me. It just seemed like my heart went out to the young people to help them. It was more so, I felt like I had, it's water. I felt like I had the understanding that these young people needed in order to get saved and go live the life and stuff like that. Oh, of course not. Because mine ain't in the church. Mine ain't saved. The only one that's saved is my son, but he ain't get saved underneath me. He got saved underneath the Lord. I mean, everybody gets saved under the Lord. What I mean is that he got saved outside the church. None of my young people, yes. My son, my oldest daughter, got saved in the church. But they ain't saved now. I mean, my son is, but this daughter's not saved. One of my daughters is deceased. They ain't thinking about going to church. I ain't gonna say they ain't think about the Lord, because then I'll be lying, because I don't know that. But they ain't thinking about no church, because they ain't coming to church. And even if they are thinking about it, their thoughts are not so strong that their thoughts bring them to church. Okay, so back to him. So I was saying that I understand. Oh, I want that fly to sit down so I can kill him. He don't want to sit down. He want to keep flying around me. So I'm asking the Lord if it's the Lord's will. Now, he said what I said. The pastor said that what I said to him, help him out, answer his question, etc. But I'm seeing now that his feelings, the reason why he don't want a pastoralship no more, is because he's hurting. And if the Lord wants me to, he's going to open up that door again for me to tell him. You cannot make a decision on hurt. Because if you make your decision based on hurt, it's going to come out wrong. It may turn out not the way you want it to be. And God may want you to stick it out, even though you hurt. Now, that's experience. This fly. That's from experience. Because I went through a whole lot and I was hurt. Now, I'm not saying I was so perfect that I didn't hurt no one else. But here's the thing. People didn't have the audacity to tell me when I hurted them. They would maybe retaliate. And then when they retaliate, they would retaliate months later. Or they may retaliate a day or two after the situation. But while they retaliating, why they retaliating is not for that thing I did or said. It's for something that happened 2, 3 months, years ago. Or maybe somebody told them something that I said. But I never would be addressed. Nobody would never come to me and say, Evangelist Jordan, I heard this was said. I heard you said this. I felt some kind of way. When I was, since this is my video, I can be truthful. When I was sat down the very first time in my life it was said to me that it was because I did this particular thing. But when it happened and I was told I was being sat down, it was a buildup of things that had happened. And that particular thing took the cake. And when that particular thing was done, it wasn't done out of hate, even though none of the things that was done I did is out of hate, because I don't hate nobody, right? And I can say that respectfully. So it wasn't done out of hate. But the person thought it was done out of hate. And it all built up into a ball that caused the person to sit us down. But the Lord opened up the door for me to say it. I ain't saying nothing unless the Lord want me to say it. Because when he opened up the door for it to be said, he going to give me the right words to say. And they're going to be understandable. Because my mind was jibbled up when that came to me while the person was talking, while the pastor was talking. It came to me to say some things. But it was all gibbety. And I was like, I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to tell him. And I don't want to say nothing that's going to hurt him, because I don't know nothing about him. He's just telling me this situation. But he's down a lane where I was in. So I had experience with it, so I can tell him what to do. So I'm going to tell him, the Lord opened up the door for me to tell him this. I'm going to tell him what I did, how I handled that type of situation. Now, him being a pastor is way different from what I was going through and my feelings for what I was going through. But it all boiled down to hate. I mean, not to hate, we'll say devil. It might have was hate. It all boiled down to hurt. Excuse me. It all boiled down to the hurt, whereas since it boiled down to the hurt, then it caused my reaction and response to be negative. And having the characteristics of Christ, we can't hide no malice and hate and envy and different things in our heart. We can't hold that. It ain't gonna it's not gonna stay there if Christ is there. It'll stay there if Christ don't have control over your heart and your mind and your soul. Now, he can be in you, but if he don't have control over it, then you got control over it. The enemy got control over it. So you're going to start feeling these different things. But that envy, that hatred, that malice, that strife, all them other sins that God tells us that we ain't supposed to have as a Christian, as a follower of him, it can't stay there. Because he gonna put that agape love in you, and you're gonna love these people no matter what they do, even if you do get fed up. Now, just like I said, his hurt came from a different perspective than my hurt, but it was all church hurt. So my experience through it is that I had to go to God for it. When I asked him, I said, well, he said, I've been praying about it. I said, well, did you get your answer? He said, no, I didn't get my answer yet. That's why I'm asking you. I'm not God. I'm not the one to give you the answer. I can give you an outlook on it. And maybe my outlook would be the answer. Only you would know. Right? But the answer can be what you want to hear. The answer has to be out of your perspective. See, that's how you know when God is answering your prayers, is when you get an answer that is totally out of how you was looking at it. Now, it may be how you was feeling. And let me tell you something. In the spiritual aspect, you don't know nothing. He said, the Comforter will come to lead and guide you in all truth. Even when you pray, you don't know what to pray about. But the Spirit of God come and intercede with you, intercess, and you go through intercession. And sometimes them intercession is groaning. Sometimes God is working through you and in you for yourself. He's interceding for you because you about to come up to something, or you went through something and you don't know what to do about it. So you praying and you don't even know what you're praying for or why you're praying, even though you're praying. Lord, this, that, and the other. But God knows what the situation is in you. So when you get down to pray, sometimes you can't pray because of the simple fact what you need to pray about, you don't know. So you got to just kneel down and God comes in. And then things start coming on your mind. Lord have mercy. This is the type of prayers that I've been having. Type of prayers that I had. Things come on your mind, come on my mind, and I be like, why am I thinking about it? But when I dig down deep in them thoughts that's coming in my mind, I realize that's what's in my heart. And I ain't talking about nothing negative. I'm talking about hurt. We talking about hurtness. That's what's in my heart. And then once I accept what God brought to me, then I give it to him. And me giving it to him sometimes causes me to cry. Sometimes causes me to cry, causes me to moan. That's where it say intercession. We're moaning and groaning. This is God speaking to you and you speaking to God, and God feeling what you feeling. And you feeling what God feeling. So, I gotta hurry and get out of here. Every time I eat this, I feel like I'm eating candy. So, I need to get it. I'm gonna wear this sweater. This is another cashmere. We're about to see how warm it is. And it's supposed to be an extra small, you see? Them extra small. I got some other extra small that look like extra small because somebody else was wearing it and they wound up putting it in the washing machine. Because when I first moved here, I would cashmere. You get me? I would clean all my cashmere. Okay, I need to find out where. Okay, let me stop this.